Akure. We will take the national as well as the FUTA anthem.
Mother
Shall we take our seat as we sustain the applause for Nigeria's leading University of Technology? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my Lord spiritual and temporal, leaders of our university community, leaders of our academic community, my Lord spiritual and temporal, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji, I welcome all of us to the 180th in the inaugural series of our great university. Today's lecture with the title, The Wonders of Enzymes, Glamour of a Clean and Healthy Environment, will be delivered by Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE, Professor of Enzyme and Environmental Biotechnology. A round of applause for the inaugural lecturer, please. In tandem with the tradition of our university, today's ceremony will be presided over by our Vice Chancellor, who today is being represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Professor Taiwo Timothy Amos. You are welcome, sir. A round of applause for our Acting Vice Chancellor, please. Our principal officers are also here. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Development is Professor Sunday Samuel Uluyamo. A round of applause for him, please. The man that wears about 3 or 4 caps is the registrar of our institution, secretary to council, and also the chief scribe of this great university, Mr. Charles Olusegun Adeleye. The chancellor of the exchequer, the bursar of our institution, Mr. Peter Oshaduba. You are welcome, sir. The custodian of the books of our great university, the university librarian, Dr. Robert Akiade Awoyemi, we welcome you. The acting provost, College of Health Sciences, Professor Victor Ukwenya, you are welcome, sir. The deans of our various schools are also here. I start with the Dean School of Environmental Technology, who also doubles as the chairman, Committee of Deans of our institution, Professor Isaac Olaniyi Aje. We welcome you, sir. The Dean School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, Professor Oluwatoyin Faramade Oludaunsi. You are welcome, ma'am. The Dean School of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Akim Olalekan Lawal, we welcome you. Member of Council and Dean School of Computing, Professor Boniface Kayode Aleshe, you are welcome, sir. Dean School of Infrastructure, Mineral and Manufacturing Engineering, Professor Peter Kayode Oke, you are welcome, sir. The Dean School of Electrical and Systems Engineering, Professor Adegoke Oladipo Melody, you are welcome, sir. Dean School of Health and Mineral Sciences, Professor Adeleye Yekini Anifowoshe, we welcome you, sir. The Dean School of Logistics and Innovation Technology is being represented here today by Dr. Joseph Odesonya. We welcome you, sir. The Dean School of Life Sciences, Professor Michael Olufemi Ashamo, you are welcome, sir. We also welcome the Dean School of Physical Sciences, Professor Femi Barnabas Adebola, you are welcome, sir. The Dean School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Oluayo Bello Olusoji, we welcome you, sir. And the Dean that controls the largest contingent of forces on campus, Dean Student Affairs Division, Professor David Olanrewaju Oke, you are welcome, sir. At this juncture, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite to the podium the chairman of this occasion, our Vice Chancellor, being represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Taiwo Timothy Amos, to deliver his address.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor Development. registrar, and other principal officers here present, my lords, spiritual and temporal, top government functionaries here present, the inaugural lecturer of today, Professor Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE, deans, directors, and heads of department, distinguished members of Senate and congregation, eminent scholars and friends of the university, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our Vice Chancellor, I welcome you with great pleasure to the 188th Inaugural Lecture of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I warmly welcome our spiritual and traditional leaders, top government functionaries, captains of industries, friends of the university, and staff and students of the university here present. Great Futarian. I am delighted to also welcome the immediate and extended family members, friends, and well-wishers of the inaugural lecturer. I felicitate Professor Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE on this academic milestone. May I, at this juncture, request the inaugural lecturer to please rise while I present the citation. Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE ní Arogundade was born on 15th October 1971 at Ido-Ekiti, Ekiti State. She had her secondary education at the Federal Government College, Idoani, between 1981 and 1986. After finishing from that school, she went to the Federal School of Arts and Science, Ondo, between 1986 and 1987, University of Lagos, 1987 and 1991, where she had B.Sc in Biochemistry. She also went to the Federal University of Technology, Akure, FUTA, in 2002 and obtained a M.Tech degree in Applied Biochemistry. She also had an MBA from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in 2003. She had a split-side PhD program between FUTA and University of Trieste, Italy, PhD Biochemistry in 2009. Having won the International Center of Theoretical Physics, ICTP, Sandwich Training Education Program, Fellowship in 2005, and Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the Future PhD Fellowships in 2006. I thought we'd give her a round of applause for that. Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE joined the services of the university FUTA in December 2003 as assistant lecturer in the Department of Biochemistry and rose to the rank of professor in October 2020. Professor Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE has supervised over 38 master's and 9 doctoral research students. She has served as external examiner to several universities in Nigeria. She has authored and co-authored over 55 publications in high impact factor journals and about 1,000 citations to her credit. She is a reviewer of several academic and professional journals, among which are Science of Total Environment, IF 82, Journal of Hazardous Materials, Bioresource Technology. Professor OLAJUYIGBE belongs to several professional bodies, including the Nigerian Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology between 2004 and now, American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology 2006 to date, American Association for the Advancement of Science 2008 2008 to date. West African Research Association 2025, Network of Nigerian Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, and Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World, OWSD. She is the current National Vice Chairperson, OWSD Nigeria National Champion. Professor Olajuyigbe is a recipient of many distinctions and awards. Notably among them are the Vice Chancellor's Special Recognitions for Research Award in 2011, a two-time winner of the International Foundation for Science IFS Sweden Research Grant 2011 and 2024, a two-time winner of the highly competitive Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the FUTA Fellowship for her split-side PhD research in the University of Trieste, Italy in 2006 through to 2008, and postdoctoral program at the University of Florida, USA, 2011 and 2012. She was an associate of International Center for Theoretical Physics, Trieste, Italy for 8 years, between 2009 and 2016. Recognition as a role model for women in science on 2016 International Women's Day by IFS in Sweden. Professor Olajuyigbe is also a winner of the US Fulbright Senior Research Scholarship in 2017. She also is the winner of the FUTA Vice Chancellor Special Recognition Award of Excellence for 2023. She is the Seeding Labs International Access Award winner for the Central Research Lab in January 2024. Professor Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE has over 20 years of teaching and research experience. She has also held several administrative positions in the university, including but not limited to being the director of Central Research Lab from 2023 to date. She's a member of the University Senate between 2020 till date, and a member of the University Accreditation Committee from 2024 till date, among many others. Outside the university, Professor Olajuyigbe is a member of Mothers Union and Women's Guide, Anglican Communion, and Cathedral Jewels of Christ, St. David's Anglican Cathedral, Akure, from 1999 to date. She is happily married to Reverend Canon Dr. Ebenezer Olajuyigbe, and I guess they co-authored 2 boys and 2 girls. One of them was the best graduating student in FUTA. Enzymes are biological catalysts which speed up chemical reactions in living organisms. So what makes them the glamour of a clean and healthy environment? The lecture of today will enlighten us on how these molecular machines of the cell drive eco-friendly innovations and the roles they play in health, industry, and environmental sustainability. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and everyone here today, we are about to listen to the 180th inaugural lecture of the university titled, The Wonders of Enzymes, Glamour of a Clean and Healthy Environment. Please join me in welcoming the amiable scholar, Professor Folasade Mayowa OLAJUYIGBE.
the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Temidayo OLAJUYIGBE GFAS, ably represented by Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor T.T. Amos, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Academic and Development, the Registrar, all the Principal Officers of the University, Provost, Deans and Directors, Heads of Departments and Units, Professors and members of the University Senate, members of the academia, administrative and professional staff, my lords, spiritual and temporal, distinguished guests and friends of the university, ladies and gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, great FUTarians. It is with great pleasure and immense gratitude to the Almighty God, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the covenant-keeping God, the giver of wisdom, knowledge and understanding are my sufficiency, that I feel honored to stand before this great gathering today, 6th May 2025, to deliver the 188th inaugural lecture of the best University of Technology in Nigeria and the 7th in the Department of Biochemistry, School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Nigeria. Madam Vice Chancellor, it is with great sense of fulfillment that I stand to deliver my inaugural lecture on a subject that has fascinated me for many years. The topic does not only captivate the scientific minds, but also holds the potential to transform our environment. The wonders of enzymes, glamour of a clean and healthy environment. My journey into the fascinating world of enzymes. In 1986, I was admitted to study biochemistry at the then Ondo State University, Ado-Ekiti, Osua, but I rejected the admission on my pursuit of either medicine or pharmacy. As God ordained it, my journey as a biochemist started in 1987 when I was admitted into the University of Lagos to study biology. Since my score did not reach the cutoff mark for admission into medicine or pharmacy, I eventually accepted the admission for B.Sc biology, though I preferred biochemistry to biology as I felt it was closer to medicine. Hence, I put in my best to come up with a first class in biology in the first year, to aid my change of course to biochemistry in my second year. Alas, I ended up with a high second class upper CGPA and as the second best in the Department of Biology. The then head of Biology Department, Dr. Dele Olokudejo, now Professor Olokudejo retired, did not want to release me from biology to biochemistry. But with my plea that I will only be happy in biochemistry, he graciously released me. And I was warmly accepted into the Department of Biochemistry under the headship of late Professor E.O. Akirimisi for my second year. The course which I was initially admitted to study at Osua in 1986. I still attended JAMB even in the second year for pharmacy at Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU Ilefe. But then I scored 251, while the cutoff mark was 259. With that, I made up my mind to settle with biochemistry and sought God's help to be fulfilled and fruitful in the field of biochemistry. I thank God for answering my humble prayer of 1988. I got interested in enzymology and microbial biochemistry as they were the only options available for me for 1996-1997 admission into the M.Tech Applied Biochemistry program in FUTA. With the vision of applying my research to solving problems in healthcare and environment, I had the motivation to go into the enzymology and biotechnological applications of microbial enzymes with my M.Tech thesis on production and some physicochemical properties of acid proteins from Aspergillus niger, NRL 1785. I started my teaching and research career in 2003 as an assistant lecturer after spending 5 years as senior administrative officer in the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB Ondo State Office, Akure, from December 1998 to December 2003. My research interest later extended to thermostable alkaline processes, which have applications in detergent, food, and leather industries, prompting my initial PhD research on biocrystallographic studies on thermostable alkaline processes from Bacillus species isolated from selected Nigeria hot and warm springs. I started research on this topic, having won my first IFS research grant in November 2004. I later won the International Center for Theoretical Physics Sandwich Training Educational Program Fellowship in 2005 to work on the project in a split-site program between Center of Excellence in Biocrystallography, University of Trieste, Italy, and FUTA. My assigned PhD supervisor, Professor Silvano Jeremia at the University of Trieste, Italy, was more into enzymes as drug targets and preferred me to work on HIV protease as drug targets against HIV/AIDS. After some insightful discussion with him and my PhD supervisor in Nigeria, my PhD thesis title was changed to Biocrystallography Studies on HIV protease, Biochemical Investigation on Potential Inhibitors and Drug-Resistant Mutants. With the new PhD research proposal, I applied for the Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the Future, and I won the scholarship for my PhD research for 2 uninterrupted years, 2006 to 2008, at the University of Trieste, Italy, after the first month of my ICTP STEP fellowship. After earning my PhD, I went for my postdoctoral training in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, University of Florida, United States of America, as fellow Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the Future. There I gained more research skills and learned the art of laboratory management, working in the laboratory of Professor Ben Doan, University of Florida. To the glory of God, on my return to FUTA after a postdoctoral program in November 2012, I set up my research laboratory, Enzyme and Environmental Biotechnology, acronym eBiotech Laboratory, which has helped me to effectively lead and manage a focused and dynamic research group. Madam Vice Chancellor, this inaugural lecture summarizes my research journey for over 25 years in the field of enzyme and environmental biotechnology. Some of my group projects have been supported by IFS Sweden, ICCP, Nigeria Tech Fund, IBR and NRF, Fulbright, and ICGB, while others have been self-funded. What are enzymes? Enzymes are biological catalysts that speed up the rate of chemical reactions in living organisms without being consumed in the process, as shown in Figure 1. These enzymes are proteins and occasionally ribonucleic acid, known as ribozymes. They display enormous catalytic power, accelerating reaction rate as much as 10⁻21 over uncatalyzed reactions. Enzymes are very selective, both in the substrate they act upon and in the reaction they catalyze. The activity of an enzyme is affected by temperature, pH, cofactors, coenzymes, and inhibitors, a characteristic which guides the applications of these enzymes. Enzymes can be obtained from plants, animals, and microorganisms. Microbial enzymes. Microbial enzymes are preferred to animal and plant enzymes for industrial applications because they are more stable, they are easier to produce, they require less space and time for cultivation, and they are cost effective. They offer high consistency and can be optimized and modified more easily. Kuma et al. 2024. Over the past 25 years, my research interests have been on enzymes of industrial and biotechnological importance, starting from the type Aspergillus niger, NRL 1785 in 1999, Olajuyigbe et al. 2003, Olajuyigbe and Ajele 2006, to wild bacteria and fungi isolated from diverse environmental samples. From 2004 to date, Olajuyigbe and Ajele 2005, Olajuyigbe et al. 2025. The interplay between enzymology and enzyme biotechnology. Enzymology and enzyme biotechnology are intertwined fields. Enzymology is a branch of biochemistry that studies enzymes through relationship between their structure and function, the mechanism of their action, and how they can be regulated. While enzyme biotechnology is a branch of applied biochemistry that deals with the application of enzymes in real-world settings such as industry, medicine, environment, agriculture, and renewable energy based on their remarkable specificity, efficiency, and other characteristics. The interplay between enzymology and enzyme biotechnology centers around understanding enzyme structure, function, and kinetics to optimize their applications. The wonders of enzymes. Enzymes are key to enhancing environmental sustainability by providing eco-friendly alternatives to harmful chemical processes across various industries. In waste management, they help break down pollutants and organic waste, aiding in composting and bioremediation. In agriculture, enzymes improve soil health and reduce nutrient runoff while optimizing water use. The textile and detergent industries also benefit as enzymes replace harsh chemicals, improve the efficiency of detergents, reduce water pollution and energy consumption. Additionally, enzymes support the production of biofuels and sustainable materials. In drug development, enzymes serve as targets for treating diseases, offering more precise treatments that minimize ecological impacts. By replacing harmful chemicals and promoting natural processes, enzymes contribute to a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable environment, adding a glamorous touch to industrial and environmental practices. My contributions to knowledge. Madam Vice Chancellor, my research over the years has keenly focused on the structure-function relationship of enzymes and the applications in industry and medicine, as well as in the biodegradation of environmental pollutants and environmental bioremediation. My research publications have received about 1,000 citations, which demonstrate the global impact of my research, with H index of 16 and I-10 index of 20. In the next few minutes, I will highlight some of my major contributions to knowledge in enzyme and environmental biotechnology under 5 main headings. 1. Discovery of Nigeria hot and warm springs as repository of thermostable enzymes. 2. Development of HIV/AIDS drugs through X-ray crystallography studies on HIV protease complexed with inhibitors. 3. Optimized production and characterization of crude, purified, and immobilized enzymes for industrial and environmental applications. 4. Development of improved enzymatic processes for converting neglected lignocellulosic agricultural waste to fermentable sugars. And 5. Biodegradation of environmental pollutants and environmental bioremediation using free and immobilized enzymes and microbes. Discovery of Nigeria hot and warm springs as repository of thermostable enzymes. Madam Vice Chancellor, my research team explored the biotechnology potential of Ikogosi Warm Spring, Ekiti State, Southwest Nigeria, and Lamude Hot Spring, Adamawa State, Northeast Nigeria, with temperatures ranging from 37 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius, in search of thermophilic microbes that produce highly thermostable enzymes. OLAJUYIGBE 2005 published the first scientific report on Ikogosi Warm Spring, Southwest Nigeria, as housed to several thermophilic bacteria with the potential of producing thermostable alkaline proteases for use in detergents, leather, food, and waste processing industries. We reported the production dynamics of protease from thermophilic Bacillus macerans IKBM11, Bacillus licheniformis IKBL17, and Bacillus subtilis IKBS10, isolated from Ikogosi Warm Spring, as shown in Figure 2. These Bacillus species exhibited optimal production of protease at pH 8.0 and temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. Remarkably, my research group also published the first report on thermostable alkaline protease from Bacillus licheniformis LHSB005, isolated from Lamude Hot Spring, Adamawa State, Northeast Nigeria, OLAJUYIGBE and Kolawole 2011. The purified protease, as shown in Figure 3, demonstrated unique activity and stability within alkaline pH, extremes of temperature, and in the presence of some cations, which suggests its suitability for use in detergent industries. Findings from our lab provided insight into the biotechnology potential of the microbial flora of Nigeria warm and hot springs and industrial applications of the enzymes they produce, OLAJUYIGBE 2015A. development of HIV/AIDS drugs through X-ray crystallography studies on HIV protease complex with inhibitors. HIV protease, as shown in Figure 4, with structures solved by OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2010, is an excellent target for antiretroviral therapy due to its crucial role in the life cycle of the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Inhibitors of HIV protease target the active site of the protease to inhibit the activity of the enzyme, which leads to the production of non-infectious viral particles. Protease inhibitors-based therapies have had good success in improving the lives of infected people. In the form of highly active antiretroviral therapy, HART, Patton et al. 2016. OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2011 provided insight into the potency of FDA HIV protease inhibitors using the crystallographic approach. Having found large inconsistencies in the earlier reported inhibition constant of FDA-approved protease inhibitors, such as ritonavir and saquinavir, when several studies on the subject were compared, OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2011 co-crystallized mixtures of ritonavir and saquinavir in the range of 1:1 to 50:1, which resulted in growth of single crystals of suitable size for high-resolution X-ray diffraction, as shown in Figure 5. Our analysis of the 4 crystal structures of protease, ritonavir, saquinavir, solved at near atomic resolutions, as shown in Table 1, revealed that crystal forms were dependent on the occupancy of either of the inhibitors, saquinavir or ritonavir, in the active site of the protease. At low ritonavir-saquinavir concentrations, that is 1:1 and 5:1, the protease-saquinavir complex was dominant, and at higher ratios, protease-ritonavir was found, as shown in Figure 6. We reported that the twofold disorder observed only in protease-saquinavir structure, Figure 6a, with more hydrophobic contacts between saquinavir and the protease than between ritonavir and the protease, suggested higher potency of saquinavir over ritonavir, as shown in Figure 6c and 6d. All the structural analysis supported this hypothesis. Findings can be extrapolated to other FDA-approved HIV protease inhibitors. OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2016 described experiments that opened a pathway for the development of new stereospecific protease inhibitors from a reactive lead compound. Madam Vice Chancellor, in advancing drug development against HIV/AIDS, my research team reported a new class of epoxide-based inhibitors, EPX, of HIV-1 protease, as shown in Figure 7, which was designed for irreversible binding to the protease, Benedetti et al. 2014. We reported the crucial role played by the configuration of the epoxide carbons, as shown in Figure 8, in determining the binding affinity of the protease. In OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2016, we unveiled a new possibility for reaction initiation on crystals of protease complex with unreactive inhibitor. We reported an in situ epoxide ring opening triggered by a pH change in the mother solution of the crystal from pH 6.0 to 9.0, as in Figure 9, which led to the formation of a new inhibitor containing amino alcohol functions. The reported experiment would be valuable in the design of future generations of stereospecific in HIV protease and epoxide-based antiviral drugs. My third contribution to knowledge: optimized production and characterization of crude, purified and immobilized enzymes for industrial and environmental applications. My research group characterized several microbial enzymes and established their potentials for applications in industry, agriculture, and bioremediation. We also identified optimal process parameters for their enhanced production. Among them were: 1, novel alkaline proteases for use in detergent formulation. My research group produced thermostable alkaline proteases from alkalophilic bacteria, which include Bacillus amyloliquefaciens, Bacillus coagulans, and Bacillus brevis, with novel characteristics with such as optimal temperature of 60 degrees Celsius, optimal pH of 8.0, and remarkable stability over broad pH. Organic solvent tolerance, activation by calcium ions, and compatibility with detergents, as demonstrated in figures 10 to 12. OLAJUYIGBE and OGUNYEWO 2013, OLAJUYIGBE and EOSU 2013, OLAJUYIGBE and Folasade 2014. The characteristics exhibited by these enzymes demonstrated their commercial viability potentials for use in detergent formulation as safe and environmentally friendly laundry additive. We also identify process parameters for enhanced process production from bacillus species, OLAJUYIGBE and OGUNYEWO 2013, OLAJUYIGBE and EOSU 2013. 2. Extremely stable pH versatile and thermostable lacase for use in various industrial and environmental processes. Lacases are enzymes which catalyze reactions involving phenols, polyphenols, lignin, industrial dyes, pesticides, and other aromatic environmental pollutants. In OLAJUYIGBE and FUTA 2017, we reported an extremely stable pH versatile and thermostable purified lacase from sporotrichs canis with broad substrate specificity. The purified lacase retained 56% of its original activity at 80 degrees Celsius after 180 minutes of incubation with very good kinetic parameters, as shown in figure 14. The characteristics of lacase from sporotrichs canis demonstrate the suitability of the enzyme for various industrial applications and environmental bioremediation. 3. Thermostable extracellular phytase from bacillus species to reduce phosphorus pollution in the environment. Madam Vice Chancellor, in order to overcome the challenge of phosphorus pollution in the environment caused by undigested phytic acid in animal waste, my research group produced, purified, and optimized the yield of bacterial phytases which can be used as animal feed supplements. Fasimoye et al. 2014 or OLAJUYIGBE 2015b. And 4. Thermostable rhodonase from Aspergillus welwitschii LOT1 for converting cyanide to a less harmful product. My research team, in collaboration with the research group of Professor D.M. Sonny in Biochemistry Department FUTA, characterized the thermostable rhodonase from cyanide-degrading Aspergillus welwitschii for converting cyanide to non-toxic thiocyanate, as shown in figure 18. My fourth contribution to knowledge: development of improved enzymatic processes for converting neglected lignocellulosic agricultural waste to fermentable sugars. Madam Vice Chancellor, for over a decade, members of my research group have engaged in research on converting lignocellulosic agricultural waste to wealth, showing enzymes as the cleanup crew for a cleaner environment. At different times, we have broken down lignocellulosic waste generated from agricultural activities such as corn cob, wheat bran, coconut husk, sugarcane baggers, and many others into fermentable sugars, which can be further converted to biofuels to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and mitigate climate change. OGUNYEWO and OLAJUYIGBE 2016, OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2018, OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2019b, OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2021a, Dele Joshua et al. 2023, FATOKUN et al. 2025, OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2025. In OLAJUYIGBE et al. 2018, we reported biologic delignification as an environmentally friendly pretreatment method for enhanced enzymatic hydrolysis of various types of agro waste, and the fermentation processes using a lignolytic bacterium Stenotrophomonas species CFB09, as shown in table 2, for biodegradation of agro residues. Madam Vice Chancellor, in FATOKUN et al. 2025, we reported 2 alkaligenous species which were viable bioresources with capacity to utilize corn cob for the production of high yield of holocellulase required for biomass saccharification in biorefineries, figure 22. Aside the hydrolytic activity of microbial cellulase and hemicellulase on agricultural waste, My research group also investigated the bioconversion of different types of pure cellulosic substrate, Havicell, alpha cellulose, carboxymethyl cellulose, and methyl cellulose, using hydrolytic enzymes from Fusarium oxysporum, Olajuyigbe et al. 2016, Olajuyigbe 2017, as shown in figures 23 and 24. It is also worth mentioning that my research group applied the technique of consolidated biosaccharification to lignocellulosic biomass using cocktail of enzymes as strategy to overcome biomass recalcitrance and enhance bioconversion of untreated corn cob and sugarcane baggers to reducing sugars, as shown in figure 26, Olajuyigbe et al. 2025. And my fifth major contribution to knowledge is in biodegradation of environmental pollutants and environmental bioremediation using free and immobilized enzymes and microbes. Madam Vice Chancellor, I'm happy to highlight my research contributions to the biodegradation of environmental pollutants, including crude oil, bisphenol A, F, and S, textile dyes, plastics, and herbicides, which have become persistent in our natural environment due to human activities, industrial processes, agricultural practices, and waste mismanagement. My research group has constantly worked on advancing bioremediation as a sustainable solution to environmental pollution since 2014 through biodegradation of environmental pollutants. Olajuyigbe et al. 2015C, Olajuyigbe and Eyosu 2016, Olajuyigbe et al. 2018, Olajuyigbe et al. 2019, Olajuyigbe et al. 2020B, Olajuyigbe and Fasimoye 2020, Adetuyi et al. 2024, Ogunjemiti and Olajuyigbe 2024, among others. Biodegradation of crude oil hydrocarbons. In Olajuyigbe and Eyosu 2016 and Olajuyigbe et al. 2020B, we reported the effectiveness of some actinobacteria and bacteria isolated from crude oil spill site in Ogoniland, Rivers State, South Nigeria, in degrading crude oil hydrocarbons, as shown in figure 27. We suggested their potential application in bioremediation strategies to address environmental pollution caused by petroleum hydrocarbons. Olajuyigbe and Fasimoye 2020 also reported more significant level of crude oil degradation in soil bioremediated with inorganic fertilizer, NPK, than with cow dung. Biodegradation of bisphenol A by free and immobilized lacquers. My research group reported an extracellular lacquers purified from Cybalinera fabiani, which was an efficient biocatalyst in free and immobilized forms. Olajuyigbe et al. 2019A. Our findings showed that the immobilized lacquers had higher stability and higher bisphenol A degradation efficiency than the free enzyme, as shown in figure 28. We established that the immobilized lacquers from Cybalinera fabiani possess more potentials for biotechnology applications than the free lacquers, especially in bioremediation of BPA-contaminated sites. The publication by Olajuyigbe et al. 2019 has received over 100 citations from 2019 till date, demonstrating the global impact of this bioremediation and biodegradation of pollutants research. Biodegradation of textile dyes by lignolytic enzymes. In Olajuyigbe et al. 2021B, we reported the effective decolorization of some textile dyes, as shown in figure 29 and 30, through the production of ligninolytic enzymes by a lignolytic bacterium, Stenotrophomonas species CFB09, Olajuyigbe et al. 2018. These dyes, commonly found in industrial areas, pose significant environmental challenges due to their persistence and toxicity. We reported that Stenotrophomonas species CFB09 produce lignolytic enzymes, lacquers, lignin peroxidase, and manganese peroxidase which decolorized 5 commercial lignin mimicking dyes in a concerted effort. Biodegradation of plastics. Polyethylene terephthalate, PETs, by microbial protease and lipase. In order to overcome the global threats to the environment due to plastic-based pollution, especially the polyethylene terephthalate, PETs, commonly used in packaging industries, Ogunjemite and Olajuyigbe 2024 determined the optimum conditions for activity of the enzymes protease and lipase that degrade PETs. We also reported the remarkable biodegradation efficiency of extracts from Serratia marcescens using scanning electron microscopy and Fourier transform infrared spectrometry, figures 31 and 32. Our findings revealed the potential of cell-free extract from S. marcescens for industrial and domestic remediation of PET waste, Ogunjemite and Olajuyigbe 2024. This can be extended to other protease and lipase-producing microorganisms. Next is biodegradation of herbicides by immobilized lacase on chitosan alginate nanoparticles. In Adetuyi et al. 2024, we reported that lacase immobilized on chitosan alginate nanoparticles achieved 100% degradation of 50 mg per liter of 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, an herbicide, whose widespread contamination of soil and water poses risk to animal and human health. Figure 33 says it all. Furthermore, the nanoparticle material exhibited the capacity to absorb 71% of the herbicide, enhancing the degradation process. We describe lacase immobilized on nanoparticles as efficient and eco-friendly tool for addressing herbicide contamination in the environment. This should promote immobilization of lacase and other enzymes on nanoparticles for environmental cleanup. And finally, environmental bioremediation using free and immobilized microbes. Madam Vice Chancellor, Olajuyigbe et al. 2020A reported that bioremediation treatments of water contaminated with crude oil improved water quality for Nile tilapia, Oreochromis niloticus, under crude oil pollution as shown in figures 34 and 35. In addition, my research group, in collaboration with the research group of Professor Adedayo Fashakin in the Department of Fisheries and Aquaculture Technology, FUTA, evaluated the efficiency of immobilized bacterial consortiums in bioremediation of bisphenol F and bisphenol S contaminated water. We reported that immobilized bacteria alleviated bisphenol-induced oxidative stress in tissues of juvenile African catfish, Clarias garipienus, in BPS and BPF contaminated water. Ajayi et al. 2023, Olawumi et al. 2023, Amogunle et al. 2023. We revealed the use of immobilized bacterial consortiums as an efficient and cost-effective bioremediation tool, while we provided evidence-based decisions for selecting immobilized microbes as safe bioremediation technology. Ongoing research. Madam Vice Chancellor, chief among my ongoing projects is the international project on development of bifunctional chimeric enzymes possessing both lignolytic and cellulolytic activities for simultaneous delignification and saccharification of agro residues. This ongoing research, of which I'm the principal investigator, is in collaboration with the Microbial Engineering Research Group of Dr. Shams Yazdani at ICGB, India, and the research group of Dr. Andrila Mukopaye at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, California, under the United States Department of Energy Joint Bioenergy Institute, Emeryville. The PhD student working on the project is Mopelola Dele Joshua, a Fulbright Junior Scholar and former ICGB pre-doctoral fellow. The project aims to develop a cost-effective production of reducing sugars from untreated corn cob. Future outlook. Pressing on in my teaching career, as professor, I look forward to collaborating with relevant industries and environmental protection agencies that wish to embrace the application of microbial enzymes in their bioprocesses for enhanced productivity and cost effectiveness of operations. In addition, I plan to place greater focus on mentoring junior colleagues and graduate students across Nigeria and abroad in the field of enzymology, enzyme biotechnology, and environmental bioremediation. Furthermore, I envision my research group growing in global relevance, tackling pressing health and environmental challenges, and making a lasting impact on both scientific community and industry. Finally, I plan to make more contributions to women empowerment through capacity building and mentoring of women and girls in science. My conclusions. Madam Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the past few minutes, I had presented my major contributions to knowledge in the field of enzyme and environmental biotechnology. This inaugural lecture has highlighted the remarkable versatility of enzymes in biotechnology and industry, with a focus on health and environmental sustainability. The lecture also emphasized the significance of microbial enzymes, offering cost-effective, eco-friendly, and more efficient sustainable alternatives to chemocatalysts in industrial applications. HIV protease, a viral enzyme, was also shown as a promising drug target for drug development against HIV/AIDS. I've also highlighted the roles of lignocellulosic biomass converting enzymes for the production of reducing sugars for biofuels, which help to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and mitigate climate change. Furthermore, the significance of microbial enzymes in biodegradation of environmental pollutants and bioremediation, providing innovative and eco-friendly solutions for environmental cleanup, was also discussed. As we move forward in the 21st century, the glamour of enzymes will continue to shine brightly, knowing that enzymes are pivotal in advancing industry, health, and environmental protection, not just in Nigeria, but globally. My recommendations. Madam Vice Chancellor, based on insight from this inaugural lecture, I wish to make the following recommendations. 1, government should allocate more funding and resources to research and development in enzyme biotechnology. This will encourage more research on enzymes for practical environmental solutions such as bioremediation, waste treatment, and pollution control. 2, government should create policies that promote the adoption of microbial enzyme technologies across key industries like detergents, agriculture, food processing, and waste management. This may include tax incentives and subsidies for companies using enzymes to replace harmful chemicals, reduce waste, and lower environmental impacts. 3, collaborative projects on enzymes as drug targets should be promoted by pharmaceutical industry and government through offer of research grants to researchers in academia working on the development of enzyme-based therapeutic interventions for different diseases. 4, enzyme biotechnology researchers should partner more with relevant industries and environmental management agencies to identify their challenges and profile relevant solutions through collaborative projects. And finally, governments and academic institutions should collaborate to establish dedicated enzyme resource centers or microbial biobank facilities that focus on the collection, characterization, and distribution of microbial strains with proven capacity for enzyme production. This will serve as repositories for industrially relevant enzymes, facilitating easy access for researchers and industries aiming to develop green technologies. Acknowledgements. I will speak of the mercies of the Lord forever. With my mouth will I make known the faithfulness of God to all generations. Psalm 89 verse 1. Because it's not of him that willeth, of him that runneth, but of God that has shown me mercy. God has exalted my horn like that of a unicorn and has anointed my head with fresh oil. Psalm 92 verse 10. I thank the Ancient of Days who created me for his pleasure to show forth the glory of his name through my teaching and research career. He has made me a crown of glory in his hand and a royal diadem in his loving arms. Isaiah 62 verse 3. All thanks, praise, and adoration to God for taking me to the peak of my career and for granting me the wisdom and grace to deliver this 180th inaugural lecture to the glory of his name. Madam Vice Chancellor, kindly permit me to recognize and appreciate wonderful people who are so dear to me and whom God has used to contribute in different capacities to my career progression. I eagerly look forward to this day being celebrated in the presence of my loving, caring, and selfless parents of blessed memory, Captain Johnson Arugundade retired, and Mrs. Rebecca Aniola Arugundade, who gave me the best in all things, believed in me, respected my choices, always celebrated my little wins, gave me awards right from childhood for excellent academic performance, charged me to be a good example to my younger brothers, and prayed without ceasing for me and my siblings with prophetic declarations, calling me a global professor even when I was still a younger lecturer. I'm forever grateful to you for giving me a good life, much love, and a very solid educational foundation in the fear of God. Thank you for a limitless legacy. I'm also very grateful to my late parents-in-law, Chief John Ojo and Chief Mrs. Elizabeth Omowumi OLAJUYIGBE, who were so loving and caring to me in their lifetime, always demonstrating their support towards my career growth. I sincerely thank Professor Peter Adeniyi, former Vice Chancellor of this great citadel of learning, whom God used to increase the quota for employment of assistant lecturers in biochemistry department from 3 to 4, based on my brilliant performance at the interview in October 2003. I also acknowledge the contributions of other past Vice Chancellors, Professor Adebisi Balogun, who recognized my academic achievements and research excellence by presenting the award of Vice Chancellor's Special Recognition for Research to me in 2011. I sincerely appreciate the support and the encouragement that came with the award. It came at a time I was thinking of quitting the system due to some devastating challenges faced at that time. I also thank late Professor B. Daramola, during whose tenure I won the Fulbright Senior Research Scholar Award, and many thanks to Professor Joseph Adeola Fuwakwe, who announced my promotion to the rank of professor and allocated a space to my research group to house all research equipment procured through my TED Fund NRF and ICGB CRP research grants. I must specially recognize and appreciate the incumbent Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Temidayo Olajiji, FAS, Mama Peace, Mama Progress, Mama Excellence, and Mama Beauty, for believing in me by appointing me as Director, Central Research Laboratory FUTA, and giving me the opportunity to serve the university in this capacity under our able leadership. My cerebral Vice Chancellor, thank you very much for bringing me into the realm of university management. I also thank you for the Vice Chancellor's Special Recognition Award presented to me at the 2023 Excellence and Productivity Award Program. I sincerely pray that the Lord continues to lift you up beyond your expectations in Jesus' name. My sincere appreciation goes to all principal officers. I thank all past deans of the former School of Sciences for the different roles they played in my career progression. I thank the pioneer and current dean, School of Life Sciences, Professor Michael O. Ashamo, for being the sitting dean when my professorship was announced and for his unalloyed support to my career progression. I thank all deans and directors FUTA for their cooperation at different times. I wish to express my gratitude to my teachers at Army Children's School, Akure, and Federal Government College, Iduani. I sincerely appreciate my B.Sc supervisor, Professor Olubumi A. Magbagbola, retired, for being a role model to me. I thank my M.Tech and PhD supervisor, Nigeria component, Professor Joshua O. Ajele, a caring father, and mentor, indeed, who gave me wings to fly by allowing me to follow my passion for research projects in enzyme biotechnology. I also acknowledge with thanks, I equally thank him for being the sitting dean of the department, sitting head of the department, who supported my application to FUTA in 2003 as assistant lecturer, and for his contribution to the successful delivery of this inaugural lecture. I acknowledge with thanks the contribution of my co-supervisor of blessed memory, late Professor Theophilus Olawe. I'm also very grateful to my PhD co-supervisor, Italy component, Professor Silvano Jeremiah, for exposing me to the world of biocrystallography and drug discovery, providing effective mentorship on paper writing and poster presentations. I sincerely thank Professor Oluwayemisi Adeparusi for being my mentor and guiding angel at the beginning of my career journey as assistant lecturer. She introduced me to Third World Organization for Women in Science, TWOS, now Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World, OWSD. She encouraged me to join as member, and I joined. Today, I serve as the National Vice Chairperson, OWSD Nigeria. She also gave me the web address of International Foundation for Science Sweden and told me to apply for a research grant in 2004, which I did and won. I appreciate the mentorship provided by an erudite scholar, Professor Oyedapo Fagbinro, on the art of applying for research grants in the first half of 2004. Thank you, sir, for guiding me through the process of applying for my first IFS research grant. I sincerely appreciate Professor Gerard Klebe of University of Marburg, Germany, who nominated me for Nature Travel Grant and full conference support to attend my first Gordon Research Conference on computer-aided drug design in Vermont, USA in 2011. I acknowledge with thanks the contributions of Emeritus Professor Tom Blundell, University of Cambridge, and Professor Paul Fitzpatrick for the Elsevier Archives of Biochemistry and Biophysics Young Investigator Award for winning the Best Poster Presentation Award at Reims in Environmentology Conference and Saint-Malo, France. That was in 2008. I thank all my research associates and collaborators in the United States of America, India, Italy, and United Kingdom. Professor Ben Don, Professor Max Ablom, Dr. Andrila Mukopaye, Dr. Sham Yazdani, Dr. Alfred Fernandez Casting, Professor Meniko Ritzi, and Dr. Sylvia Honesty. Thank FUTA, ICTP, Schlumberger Foundation, United States Government, IFS Sweden, TED Fund, and ICGB Italy for supporting my career progression through scholarships, fellowships, research grants, and awards. I thank my colleagues in the Department of Biochemistry for their cooperation, starting with the head of the department, Professor A.C. Akimoladun, all professors, other academic and non-academic staff as listed on slides. My deep appreciation goes to my Associate Director, Dr. Samuel Ogunjo, all staff, corpus, and interns of the Central Research Laboratory FUTA for their constant cooperation. Thank you, great team. I thank the Director, Corporate Communications and Protocol, CCMP Unit, Mr. Adegbenru Adebanjo, a wonderful brother who has been intentionally instrumental to my visibility. I appreciate all staff of the CCMP unit and other servicing directorates and units as listed for their respective contributions. I thank all executives and members of OWSD Nigeria, National Chapter, all branches in the 6 geopolitical zones, especially OWSD FUTA branch. I also thank all members of the FUTA Women Forum, Network of Nigerian Women in STEM, SLB FFTF Fellows Nigeria, US Government Exchange Alumni Association, IFS Nigeria Alumni Association, Fulbright Alumni Association of Nigeria FAN, and Board of Directors and partners of my non-profit organization, Women's Dignity Initiative Incorporated, for their contributions to my career progression. My sincere appreciation also goes to my spiritual father and mother, Archbishop, Ondo Ecclesiastical Province, and Bishop Akure Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. Simeon and Princess Christiana Adetumbi Borokini, CFAT, for their consistent love and prayers for my family. Permit me to use Most Reverend Professor George and Mrs. Esther Lashe become retired as point of contact to appreciate all spiritual leaders listed on slides. I thank the Dean of the Cathedral, all archdeacons, canons, reverend, and other church workers, clergy-wise, and all Anglican Communion family Akure Diocese as listed, for their love and prayers. I equally thank the Cathedral Jewels of Christ, Cathedral Life Society, and FFAC for being part of my career journey. I'm very much indebted to all members of Grace Anglican Church, Ifelodun Estate Akure, for their unwavering love and prayerful support towards my career progression. I'm also grateful to the family of retired Right Reverend Professor Joseph and late Mrs. Adenike Omoyajowo for their love for my family. Furthermore, I thank the Gideons International Akure Camp for their love and fellowship. I thank my colleagues in the Enzymology Unit, Department of Biochemistry, FUTA, for their support and cooperation over the years. I sincerely appreciate all my academic mentees, alumni, and current members of Biotech Laboratory, FUTA, for their research contributions and deep commitment to our research group, and much more for your great support toward the success of this inaugural lecture. I also appreciate my other mentees across the globe. I'm grateful to my secondary school mates at LGC Duani, the 1986 graduating class as listed. I appreciate all UNILAG alumni, most especially my brethren at the Lagos Varsity Christian Union, LVCU, graduating class of 1991. Alumni of Nigeria Christian Corpus Fellowship, NCCF Benue, 91-92 set, and Campus Christian Fellowship, Nigeria Fellow of Evangelical Students, CCF NIFS FUTA, as listed. I appreciate all landlords and landladies of Ayetutu Estate Akure. I appreciate the love and peace we share. I thank all my former colleagues and staff of JAMB, Fasco Chemical Company, and Apata Memorial High School, Lagos, for the cooperation I enjoyed while with them. I'm also grateful to my beloved family friends as listed for being part of my career progression. I sincerely appreciate and thank all the Olajuyigbes home and abroad for their love and prayerful support to my career progression, especially my immediate in-laws, Mrs. Yemisi Ogunride, Mrs. Kikelomo Ajay, Dr. Temitope and Mrs. Desola Olajuyigbe, Mr. Richard and Mrs. Sholabobi of Olajobi, Mr. Olufemi and Mrs. Taiwo Olajuyigbe, Mrs. Opeyemi Olajuyigbe, Mr. Biodun and Mrs. Olanike Akinbodewa, and my stepmother-in-law, Madam Florence Olajuyigbe. In addition, I appreciate with thanks the prayers and prophetic declarations of my big daddy and mommy, Venerable Emmanuel and Mrs. Comfort Abe, retired. My sincere gratitude also goes to all the Arogundades home and abroad, especially my loving auntie, Madam Rachel Ogunshaki. I'm very grateful to all the Olatonos, Babalolas, and Ogunjemiluas for the different roles played in my career progression. I thank my big brother, Reverend Dr. Moses Babatunde Arogundade, for his contribution to my career journey since my secondary school days, especially for teaching me the song I used to memorize the first 20 elements in chemistry during the long vacation prior to my Form 3. I'm greatly indebted to my little sister and brother, together with their spouses, Engineer Folusho Ajao and Mr. Taiwo Olatono, for being so loving and supportive in my career journey. I'm very grateful to my ever-loving and caring siblings and their darling wives, Major General Ladele and Mrs. Kemisola Arogundade, Professor Yodeji and Mrs. Bukola Arogundade, Dr. Dwayo and Mrs. Fumilola Arogundade, and Engineer Dipo and Engineer Mrs. Anoluapo Arogundade. Thank you very much for your contribution towards the successful delivery of this inaugural lecture. Thank you for the love we share. God bless you. My heartfelt gratitude goes to my loving, caring, wonderful, and prayerful children in whom I'm well pleased. Toluwanimi Olajuyigbe, Oluwanifemi Olajuyigbe, Daniel Olajuyigbe, and David Olajuyigbe for their unflinching love, support, understanding, and every contribution to my career progression. I use this medium to thank you all for your strength, the patience, and understanding anytime I was away from home, studying abroad while you were very young. You encouraged me with the courage and love you demonstrated through it all. Your sacrifice meant so much to me, much more than words can express. Thank you for being a solid support system and part of my successful Enzyme story. I love you all. I pray the Lord will make you into great nations in Jesus' name. Madam Vice Chancellor, permit me to appreciate the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, the man that unlocked the hidden treasure in me, the man that encouraged me to go for graduate studies, even when himself as at then had only B.Tech, the man that supports my vision, the man that allows the beauty of God to shine from within me, a real gem, the love of my life, my own sweetheart, my loving husband, and caring father of our wonderful children, Reverend Canon Dr. Ebenezer Oluwasesan Olajuyigbe. Sweethearts, I appreciate your unfeigned love, support, and understanding, and contributions from the onset of my teaching and research career till I reached the peak of my career as professor. Thank you for always ensuring that I have smiles on my lips. Honey, I celebrate you and love you more than ever. I love you more than ever for making this day memorable for us. Finally, I thank everyone physically and virtually present at this lecture. Thank you very much, and many more thanks for listening. Now unto the King eternal, immortal, invisible, and the only wise God, be all glory, honor, and adoration for great things he has done, and greater things he will still do, now and forevermore. Amen.
Can we sustain the applause? Please, you may be seated. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have had a good time today. We thank the Almighty God for the grace that He has given to the inaugural lecturer. Can we give her a round of applause again? She has duly acknowledged many people, but as our manner is in FUTA, we will still need to acknowledge some individual. Every one of us who has come today is appreciated. On behalf of our Vice Chancellor and the entire community of Federal University of Technology, Akure, we want to appreciate especially some individuals. And I will start with our emeritus professor, Professor Akure, pioneer chaplain, FUTA chaplain, FUTA. You're welcome, sir. Professor Yofai Hakim, former rector, Federal Polytechnic Ilẹ̀-Olújì, and chairman, Governing Council, Ekiti State Polytechnic. Tunde Arayela, former DVC. You are indeed welcome, sir. Professor Modupe Ajayi, former registrar, FUTA. You are welcome. Professor Abiolu, former acting librarian, FUTA. You are welcome. Mr. Oladeji, former acting bursar, FUTA. Also want to acknowledge Professor Joshua Ajele, supervisor of the inaugural lecture. You are welcome, sir. Surveyor Dupe Nilola Olayinka Dosumu, rector, Federal School of Surveying. You are welcome. Engineer Akin Omotola, permanent secretary, Minister of Urban Infrastructure, Akure. You are welcome. Chief Sanya Oyinsan, member, FUTA Akure Partnership. You are indeed welcome, sir. Professor Rose Angela Mba, DVCA, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo. You are welcome. Thank you. Professor Olufemi OLAJUYIGBE, DVCA, Adeyemi University, Ondo. You are welcome, sir. Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, immediate past Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo. You are welcome, sir. Tony Owoyemi, representing Commission for Women Affairs and Social Development, Ekiti State. You are welcome. Captain A.O. Oni, Nigerian Army. You are welcome. Reverend Philip Aboderin, St. Simon, FUTA. You are welcome. Dr. Samuel Bitoye, Rector, Sector Commander, FRSC. Ondo. You are welcome, sir. Engineer Agbede Adedoyin, Ministry of Works. You are welcome, sir. Dr. O.S. Olayeriju Olusegun Agagu, University of Science and Technology, Okitipupa. You are welcome, sir. Otumba Bolude Afolabi Ijapo Akure. Venerable and Mrs. Mewa Ijatuyi. You are indeed welcome, sir. OWSD EXU branch. You are all appreciated. Thank you. OWSD, FUTA branch. Can we recognize you? You are welcome. Thank you. FUTA Women Forum. Everybody belongs to FUTA Women Forum. Thank you. FUTA alumni, you are indeed welcome. Thank you. Mrs. Olubumi Adebanjo, Abeokuta special friend of the inaugural lecturer. You are welcome. I also want to recognize His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Simon Borokini, Bishop of Akure Diocese and Archbishop of Ondo Province, and his wife, Mommy and Daddy. You are welcome, sir. Most Reverend George Olaoshebikan, retired, Archbishop and Bishop of Ondo Diocese, and the wife. You are most welcome, daddies and mommies. Right Reverend Dr. Abel Ajibodu, Anglican Bishop of Ilẹ̀-Olújì Diocese. You are welcome, sir. Venerable and Mrs. Adu B.Asu, S.O., and Reverend J.O. Idowu, representing Bishop Ekiti West Diocese. Thank you, sirs. Venerable Professor E.O. Dada, retired, St. John's Anglican Church, Ijare. You are welcome, sir. All clergy from Anglican Diocese, Ileoluji, Efunalaye, and Akure, you are indeed welcome. Dr. Gideon Bakari, Secretary, Trade Union Congress, Ondo State, you are welcome. Thank you, sir. Major General Dele Arogundade and his wife, the younger brother to the inaugural lecturer, you are welcome, sir. Very Reverend Moses Arogundade, brother to the wife, you are welcome, sir. Professor Mrs. Dupe Adebo, sister to the inaugural lecturer, you are welcome. Mr. Daniel Olajuyigbe, son, oh, he just stepped out. Mr. David Olajuyigbe, son. And I want to also recognize all the Olajuyigbe's family. All Olajuyigbe family, you are indeed welcome. Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge all Arogundade family present here at this occasion. You are indeed most welcome, sirs and ma'am. Finally, I must recognize Reverend Canon Dr. Ebenezer Olajuyigbe, the husband, the sweetheart of the inaugural lecture. You are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you also for coming.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before we round off this program, I have a couple of announcements. Before then, while we were at it, some news came in. You know, at the beginning of my introduction, I said FUTA is the best university of technology in Nigeria. Undisputably so. We just heard that this year's International Mundial Scholarship has been, Erasmus Scholarship has been released. 51 was given to Nigeria, and out of that, by our last count, FUTA has 20. I'd like to ask that all professors should remain seated after the egression, as it were, of the procession of the Vice Chancellor. I also would ask that members of the OWSD should wait at the car park. Some persons would attend to them. All Anglican church members should wait at the front of the hall. We have arrangement to attend to them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for the students, immediately after now, I would advise where you should go. For now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, great Futarians, let's rise for the FUTA as well as the national anthem. Great Futarians, great Futarians, great, ever winning, ever leading, ever peaceful, advancing vectors of technology. FUTA, land of nation and man. For national progress, academic excellence is a tradition. Technology Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I implore us to remain standing as the procession of the Vice Chancellor leaves the auditorium. We will remain standing. All students should go to the hilltop auditorium. I also welcome to this gathering Head of Service, Ekiti State, Mrs. Okay. All professors, Professor Lasende is waiting for you at the car park. All professors, Professor Lasende is waiting for you at the car park, please. All FUTA professors, Professor Lad. I'd like to invite the husband of the inaugural lecturer to make his way to the cloakroom now. Please, husband of the inaugural lecturer, kindly make your way. My Lord Bishop too, and the head of service, Ekiti State, kindly make your way, ma, to the cloakroom. Those two persons, my Lord Bishop and the head of service of Ekiti State,